Okay, so let's start building our first. Let's start building our payment service. So I chose Stripe because I think Stripe is actually quite, I guess, quite easy to build and easy to integrate. They have a lot of stuff. But anyway, I mean, I'm gonna talk to you about Stripe later. I mean, because there is Braintree, there is PayPal, just pure PayPal. There's a lot of stuff that you can integrate on your for example for a website or forever. I mean, there are many payment processors available right now. I worked some in the past with some Zuora, also payment processor, which is available for the United States. I mean, there's a lot of them, to be honest. A lot of these payment processors available. So yeah, I chose Stripe because it's the easiest one, and they have a really good support. They're using actually also like IRC also. So you can find like a Stripe channel, I think, on IRC, and yeah, it's actually quite good. You can actually talk to them directly there. You don't have to talk via email or support. And so, I mean, they're actually run by a lot of I mean, it's a very developer friendly payment processor, and you can simply build it. I mean, they give you API keys immediately. You don't need to, do a hassle like generate keys, set up this, set up that. It's quite easy. But anyway, let's go along the way. Maybe if there's gonna be some requests, maybe I'm gonna show you also with Braintree or whatever. Also, there's a possibility at one point do like Bitcoin payments processing. You can actually uh, apply, enable Bitcoins on your site. You can accept Bitcoins. I mean, I know that the price is now going super low, but you never know. Even the last time it was like 100 and it fell to like 50 or 30. I don't, if I remember correctly. Maybe I remember wrong. And you could actually, and then it went up to 1,000. I mean, you never know. This is a really crazy market, even though, whatever. I mean, even though there's a lot of influence from other countries and some countries are stopping trading with Bitcoin or whatever. I mean, it's mostly tax wise and because it's a bit competing with their national currency and stuff like that. So, it's kind of a threat to the governments, which is fine, of course, in some cases. But anyway, so since we said we're gonna do a Stripe payment service, let's actually build one. So the reason why I chose to be a serverless, just to explain this one more thing, is because I want you want it to be a single service, uh, you know, and that you only pay a bit for the time it used. AWS Lambda, as I said in some previous streams, it gives you 1 million invocations, let's say, of your function for free. So it means, for example, if you had an API, or I mean, this service, you could do like 1 million, probably not 1 million transactions, because maybe they're gonna last longer, because it's a bit tricky because to estimate, as they are actually charging you for 100 milliseconds per request. So it's kind of, if your service runs 200 milliseconds, it means that I mean, if your Lambda is running for 200 milliseconds, it means that actually going to have a half a million. I mean, but again, even if you have like 100 payments per month, you're still going to be fine. Even if they run for like 10 seconds, it's going to be fine. You will not pay anything, and you can reuse it. I mean, you can change the code a bit and save. But anyway, let's start with our service. So let's create a separate folder. We're gonna create, for example, let's call it serverless payment service. You know, so let's do it like that. Let's go there. Serverless payment service. Payment service. Yeah. So yeah, you have this. We're in the folder, and because we're gonna do a Node.js, Node.js with Stripe and everything, we're gonna first set up the node package package management inside our library. So let's say npm init. We're gonna do force because we want it to be done quite quickly. Yeah, I sure hope you know what you're doing. So yeah, yeah, we've created now. You can see also our folders inside. Yeah, it's here, package.json. So now we're gonna do our index file. So let's do that. Index.js, and in the file, yeah, we are now there. We're gonna be using Vim a bit. Okay, let me just write it so it's saved. As you can see now, if we do this, our files are here. Let's now go again inside Vim. And if you remember the last time, we used a Cloud API Builder. So Cloud API Builder is going to be useful in this case too. If you want, you can later try, because this stream is probably going to be like maybe 1 hour long. We're maybe gonna do like a single function or use Cloud API Builder, because Cloud API Builder is, as I said, is a wrapper kind of around the incoming requests. So instead of actually having the, if you remember, a classical, a standard request coming to your Lambda is like, it comes to your handler, like exports, for example, handler, and it goes like function, and you receive an event and context, and then you do like a return, like context succeed, if you want to be a successful operation or whatever. But since Claudia API Builder does it very wraps it and gives it like an express like syntax, and it's gonna be easier for everybody to understand. Also, we are going to write it with it. So let's do it. First, let's do the let's set strict mode in our. Then let's load up our API builder. So we're gonna say API builder, and we're gonna say require Claudia API builder. Yeah, we also need to instantiate it. If you remember from the last time, so we need to say new API builder, and we finish it by this, and then at the end we just need to do like module exports equals API. So yeah. So what we want, actually you could deploy this right now, it's gonna be fine. But we didn't expose any method or whatever. So yeah, actually we didn't want this. So yeah, let's go to at the beginning of our line just to properly set this, and save this, and let's just add, for example, a simple, you see, API post method for our payment service, which is going to be like create payment, or create a charge. Let's call it payment, and we're going to have request, and because you're going to be using mostly the arrow functions, so yeah, so okay, so let's start building our first payment service. So I chose Stripe because I think Stripe is actually quite easy to build and easy to integrate. They have a lot of stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna talk to you about Stripe later. Because there is Braintree, there is PayPal, just pure PayPal. There's a lot of stuff that you can integrate on your for example, for a website or whatever. There are many payment processors available right now. I worked some in the past with some Zuora also payment processor which is available for the United States. I mean, there's a lot of them, to be honest. A lot of these payment processors available. So yeah, I chose Stripe because it's the easiest one, and they have a really good support. They're using actually also like IRC also. So you can find like a Stripe channel, I think, on IRC, and yeah, it's actually quite good. You can actually talk to them directly there. You don't have to talk via email or support. And so, I mean, they're actually run by a lot of I mean, it's a very developer friendly payment processor, and you can simply build it. I mean, they give you API keys immediately. You don't need to, do a hassle like generate keys, set up this, set up that. It's quite easy. But anyway, let's go along the way. Maybe if there's gonna be some requests, maybe I'm gonna show you also with Braintree or whatever. Also, there's a possibility at one point do like Bitcoin payments processing. You can actually uh, apply, enable Bitcoins on your site. You can accept Bitcoins. I mean, I know that the price is now going super low, but you never know. Even the last time it was like 100 and it fell to like 50 or 30. I don't, if I remember correctly. Maybe I remember wrong. And you could actually, and then it went up to 1,000. I mean, no payments. You see, today is zero. Um, so we logged out. This is gonna be the standard the page you're gonna see when you want to log in. So we're gonna create an account. We click sign up, and so let's do let's actually do something like, I don't know which account I have, but yeah, you can just create an account. It's gonna be the same. I have another account actually. Just a second. I'm gonna put on a small break. Just, you're gonna hear me everything, but I'm going to log in with some other account and show you. Let me just see if it's gonna be fine. Yeah, I'm trying to log in to my other account, but obviously I'm not setting a proper password. Yeah, probably I don't even have an account. So let's just I'm gonna sign up quickly. But let's first, you can see me add myself here. This with the capture device, add existing. Okay. And put ourselves here. So you can see that I'm doing something, not just like I disappear somewhere in the back. So yeah, so let me just create an account here. Maybe actually I used I realized maybe I forgot some parts to add. Let me just check. And let's just check this. Yeah, actually I'm logged in. I just forgot. You need to add specific characters to your so yeah. So this is your dashboard, and yeah, so this is your dashboard, and you are gonna see here like, okay, a lot of options on the left side, a lot of options here. So what you want is you want to you want to read the basics before starting on Stripe. I mean, let's do it just quickly, just to show up. I mean, you have like test and live modes, API keys, activating your account, whatever. My account is activated. You'll have to do it. The activation of your account requires you to just confirm your email. So it's not something that you can mess up or whatever. You need API keys. Why do you need API keys? Because let's just actually show first. You have test and live modes. Let's actually go one by one, step by step, because sometimes I don't have structure when I'm explaining things. Live mode, as you probably know, it's like production mode when you want to actually take payments from your customers, and test mode is when you're developing. Since we're going to be just developing, you can just very quickly switch to live mode. So when you're just developing, you can use the test code. You can try it out, put fake numbers, put like 1 million. Somebody paid me 1 million, whatever. You can do whatever you want. But with live mode, it requires actual cards. It requires, it's going to return errors in case something is wrong or whatever. Also, test mode returns errors, but test mode accepts test cards. The live mode doesn't accept test cards. And so you see, you have test card numbers. You have the API's keys. Then after that, it tells a lot of stuff. But basically, what you need to know is you have test and live mode from this. Test is for testing and development, live is for production when it's 100% ready. So basically, you're really protected. You're really protected from any kind of weird stuff. Even if you show your test keys to somebody, it's gonna be okay. You can just generate them or remove them or whatever. But again, nobody can do something bad. So you have API keys related to these two test and live modes, as it probably says. So you can get them. You can you have as it states here, you have publishable and secret key. Secret key it's like a pair. You have publishable key which you can put on your website or whatever, based on which Stripe knows it's you. And then in your API you have the secret key, which you can which you can use. Which it's used to verify it's you. It's like using a publishable key along with a secret key helps Stripe understand. Okay, this guy, this person, this account is doing it. It's authorized. So yeah. So this is authentication. This is authorization. So you should never show your secret API keys to anybody. Okay, test keys, you should not do it, but you can do an exception. You can show it to some people or whatever, in your company or whatever. So you need to keep them safe. You can see here is the API key. It's going to show how you can do it. I can play this video, but as you can see, this is the volume and everything, what's happening, and it has a lot of stuff. Restricted access, so you can specify which secret keys can do what. So you can generate many of them. So before activating, you can only interact with Stripe in test mode. Basically, you can even without activating your account, you can use Stripe, which is nice, which is super nice. Give test members account, which is good. In this case, I think we're an admin. You have other, but it doesn't matter. Managing multiple accounts, receiving notifications. Yeah, you can do that. There's a lot of stuff, but basically, this is the most basic two things you need to know about Stripe. You have test and live mode, and you have API keys. API keys are related to test and live mode, which means at the beginning you're going to have 4 types of keys. First types of keys are test keys. Those two publishable test key and secret test key. And you will also have live publishable API key and live secret API key. If you let go your live secret API key to somebody, well, you're gonna have a bad time. What can I say? So this is it. This is the basic thing you need to know. So I'm probably going to check before I show. So what you need is you need to open up this. You can now close this section and go back to your dashboard. So it says here like how to accept your first payment. We're gonna go there, but before I want to show you this API here. Not sure if you're seeing. Yes, I want to show you this API. On the left side there is this API element, but before I show it, I'm just gonna do something secretive. I think I should also create. Let me just check. API keys. Yeah, this is a test key. Okay, great. So I can show you actually this, which is good. Let me just put it back. I want to be sure if I'm showing that, there's this test part here. So as you can see, if you click on API, you have API keys. First of all, it says version which you're using. Then you have API keys, which you're using, which is standard API keys and publishable key and secret key. Now, as you can see, this is hidden for just, for example, cases like this where somebody is maybe streaming and explaining and whatever. This publishable key you can use whenever. Anybody can use it, but nobody can do anything with it. But this test key is something I should not click while on stream. So you have this test key, publishable key, and secret key. So publishable key you're going to use in your web page somewhere, where you're going to identify yourself to Stripe, and the secret key, or with some service, or secret key is something you're going to do underneath on your API or whatever. So so yeah, this is basically that. This is everything you need to know at the moment about Stripe. So you need to use these keys according to some operations to accept payments. Good. Now let's go back to home. You can click here, accept your first payment. As it's gonna lead you to documentation. It's open a second page and it says cards. Let's accept cards. Okay. So we want to accept a card using two-step process. It says, so to do it, from your website, Stripe collects your customer information, which means Stripe is going to show you some form or whatever. You send this data to Stripe. Stripe keeps it for you, and then you can you don't have to deal with this data. I mean, can you imagine if everybody was like, yeah, let me take your payment, let me take your credit card number and everything, and I'm gonna be responsible. It's a huge responsibility, and you don't want that. So you have it basically takes your stuff, your information from your customer, and gives you a token. A token is like a single piece of some string, where you can which signifies this data and is returned back to you, to your browser on your page. And using that token, now you send it to your server side, which then takes this token and sends it to Stripe and sends the charge, how much you want to charge. So basically this is the way you authenticate the customer. So as you can see, it ensures that no sensitive card data ever needs to touch your server, which is great. You don't want that, really. And it can operate in a PCI compliant way. Well, this PCI compliance, we can talk about it some other time. Basically, there's a service, there's a standards body which actually tells credit card processors, payment processors, if they're, it can tell you if they're following the rules or not, if they're securely collecting information or not. So our service needs to have few steps. Number one step is securely collect payment information. So this is what we're gonna do. First, we have to first securely collect our payment information. Number one. Number two, we need to, what does it say next? This is what we said. Creating a charge to complete the payment. Yeah. So we need to then create a charge using our serverless API, serverless service. Basically, so what do we do now? We can use, for example, checkout. Checkout is some Stripes, let's just very simply say a library which helps you, which just automatically creates a form for you, which you can, pop. You can put some data there, and it sends to Stripe. For example, this button, you can click it, and yeah, you can see now how it looks. How should it look? This. Just a second, let me check if something is happening on the chat. Nothing. So this service automatically helps you with, it shows you this demo site, and you can put your fake email. I can put my email and like blah 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 blah, whatever. Yeah, let's do this. You put 4242424242, and you put whatever you want. We don't want this. We want something 2019. And yeah, it's gonna say pay me, and that's it. and yeah, it's like passed. And then, you know, this is the token that's being created for this information. So, you know, to get started, it says you can use this code. So we can use this code, and they prefill the data key with our test key, which you can see. You know, publishable API key. So basically, what you're doing is you need to create an index file. And then you need to put up this form in an HTML file, and then you can basically click on this link and it's gonna show. But yeah, so like let's actually do this, you know, immediately. Let's not explain the next step. Let's do it one by one. So it says we need an index file. Let's do that. Let's go back to our terminal. Yeah. So yeah, we want to do this terminal. We want to do this terminal, and we want to do it. Just a second. I get opening my terminal. So we want another folder because we want to just test this stuff. We don't want this file to be in our service. So we're gonna say serverless payment test. Serverless payment HTML. Let's set something like that, and we say serverless payment HTML. Okay, we're gonna do an index HTML file here. Yeah, so as we know, this is a simple HTML file. Yeah, we should probably maybe do it in our VS Code, but whatever. So let's do body, and then let's head body, and what does it say here on Chrome? Let's copy this piece. Let's copy it. Let's go to terminal. Let's see. It's probably gonna put it wrongly. Yeah, it's it's very badly. So let's add it like that. It doesn't matter, to be honest. I don't mind that much. Yeah, I like this kind of style if it's too big. Yeah, and let's do this. We just need a bit more other elements. So yeah, let's add a bit more here, and we just need, you see, so basically you see what we're doing. We're basically loading checkout class function. We first create the form, which is going to be here. First we create the form with some action. So what does this action attribute does? This action attribute actually specifies your service, which is going to be invoked with a method post with some data from the form. So, and then you have these attributes. Data is used because data is actually a standard HTML5 way of how how the browsers recognize it's something that you're using. You know, it's a prefix when you're using something which is custom. Let's say like that. Doesn't matter. So let's save this. This is the amount. It's interesting. You can see probably here. I missed something. It says script writer attribute class. Yeah, it's letting me here. Yeah, let's quit. Let's just do a cat index HTML. Is it okay? Yeah, because it's there's a validator. I have a validator for HTML, which basically checks my stuff to, you cannot add a class to script tag, even though it's loading something else. Doesn't matter. This is the way I put it, so let's keep it like that. I don't know why auto data locale is actually not formatted, but doesn't matter. So basically, this amount that you're seeing here, this amount for Stripe, is in cents. So this is literally like 9 euros. Why is it euros? Because you can see the currency here is euro. Data image, you can put here an image of whichever you want to be, or for example, of you, or whatever. So you can use data locale, it's which language, localization settings, data name, and this is the key. Yeah, you see it's actually automatically pasting it here. So yeah, this is our file. Let's see and open it in the browser. Just a second. First, let's move to the browser. Now then, let me open it in the browser. Let's just find my file system. Pay projects, and what did we say is the name? It's serverless something. It's serverless payment HTML. Yeah. So yeah, let's open it. Is it opening it? Yeah, great. As you can see, here is your HTML, and let me just check. Yeah, you're seeing it. So you click pay with card. It's showing. You see? So it says here test mode. So you know it's test mode. You can use my no, we're not gonna use it properly. And let's show what's happening here and below, just to let you in on that. Yeah. So let's see if it's gonna pass 2019. Pay. Yeah. So you see it's sending tokens, it's returning, and it's closing basically. And you see what happened is it went on our server-side code, which we do not have. So yeah, so we did it. We created one simple part with the first part of our which is the front end part, So okay, let's now go and create our service. I'm not sure if you're seeing it. Yeah. So let's first move to our terminal. So if you remember what we did, let's go back to our service. So we have this file. We created our service, payment service, yes. And let's open our index file of our service. Yeah, this is what we did. But we don't have Claudia API Builder, if you remember. We just created like API post create payment. So first, let's do that. Let's install Claudia API Builder. Install. We want to also save Claudia API Builder. I'm missing the dash here. Yeah, because we want to have it in our Lambda later. So let's first load up this. Let's go. Yeah. So yeah. So let's see what we have. Let's see package. No, package JSON. I don't know why they added a slash automatically. So yeah, you see serverless payment service. It has Cloud API Builder here in the bottom. We're using the API Builder, as I said, because it's much easier and it gives us an Express-like syntax. It's convenient, you know what it is. You can read it. Readability is also very important, and maintainability of your functions is very, very important. You don't want people to jump sometimes to your project and be like, "What the hell is this?" I have no idea what it is. If they see like API, if they see something like this, they're gonna automatically know what you did. You created an API builder. You use the API builder to create an API, and then you said API on post. I want to set a route create payment. On that route, I'm receiving the request, return the request, and that's it. Exports API. Great. So this is what we want. Now let's go back. I'm not sure if you're following. Yes. Now let's go back to our card payments quick start. So we did this part. It says data zip code choice. So this is, for example, very useful. I'm not sure did we add it. No. So this zip code is useful because it's going to prevent people from different regions or hackers to try to hack or try to simulate some users or try to abuse your service. So yeah, that's it for this part. It has a lot of stuff like radar, modern fraud protection tools, and you know, so if you, but it's only available to who have implemented the client-side tokenization. So, I mean, because on Stripe, you don't have to use this tokenization. So, but doesn't matter. You know, you can also do a complete, you know, you can take the look and feel of your payment form with Stripe.js and Elements, but to be honest, I don't prefer that at the moment. First, because we want to just show how a payment service is being built, and second, it's more secure if you do it with Stripe. You can also blame them. You know, you can say, you know, Stripe, this doesn't work. It's your fault. Sorry, it's your fault. So it's kind of problematic. Not anymore. Not problematic anymore. So let's do. So we have a, like creating a charge. That's the second step. So creating a charge to complete the payment. So we created a token which is being sent to the token is sent to our server-side code. It's being invoked, but we don't have the server-side. So let's take a look on. I mean, we have a server-side, but we don't do it with Stripe or anything. So so it says once a token is created, your server-side code makes an API request to create a one-time charge. So we need to have this our server-side code to create an API request with one-time charge. This token is actually can be used only once. I'm probably skipped it over in the top because there's a lot of text which you really don't. Some of it you don't need to read because it's explaining. It's good to read it, but for this case, you know, I'm gonna tell you very honestly. I mean, of course it's your responsibility. I cannot guarantee, you know, like yeah, I'm 100% try it. So basically, you know, this token has been created. You can use it once, and it contains I mean, this request. It contains the information necessary for a payment that relates to the payment information sent through that form that we showed. So what we want is, because we're doing in code, yeah, they prefilled with my test code. It doesn't matter if it's shown with a secret key because it's test code. I'm gonna delete it after this, and it's not gonna be used. Doesn't matter. I mean, even if you try to use it now, it's gonna be just fake charges, so nobody cares. So what we're going to do is we're gonna copy here like this whole code. It says Stripe. It requires Stripe SDK. Puts your test code, token, Stripe token. You know, it takes the token from the post request and it creates a charge. So let's actually copy these parts of the code. So let's go to our terminal. Yeah, I said at the beginning that maybe that you should not show your test code, but your secret code. But secret code only if it's a test one. It's okay. You know, you can recreate it very easily right now, and that's gonna be fine. But in our case, yeah, let's edit here, and yeah, let's try to use it like this. So we're gonna need the Stripe, but as you can see, they're using these double quotes, which I don't like. It's not a standard thing. I have an allergy towards this. My colleagues on the work, they know that. I'm a bit of annoying for single quotes because you have a JS hint and it kind of gives you errors if something is bad. So anyway, you see what you're doing. You're requiring Stripe, and then you're passing your code. You're instantiating it, so it's fine. Let's go back to our code here, and it says token is created using checkout or elements. Get the payment token ID submitted by the form. Okay, let's copy this part. Sorry, I didn't move to Chrome. You see, so this part is says token request body Stripe token, Stripe charges create amount, currency, description, source, whatever. So let's actually copy this part. I mean, it's quite easy, as you can see. We're just gonna copy and paste parts of the code, and it's gonna work perfectly. Let's go back to terminal. Yeah, so let's go here. Actually, no, let's delete, and let's, I want to create a node line here and paste here. So, this is like using express recursive body type token, but because we're doing something similar, let's first delete this line. We don't need this, and let's do this. So what we're doing, let's first set this as a let, because let is the keyword that in JavaScript helps you. It helps you specify the scope. It's a variable that's going to disappear after scope. It's not going to be a global variable. It's going to be actually it's a scoped variable. I'm talking too much over something. It's very simple. It's a scoped variable, which means it's available only in the scope of this API post. If we did a var, it would be a global variable. So yeah, this is what we want. Request body stripe token. So yeah, let's clean this section a bit. And yeah, now it's good. Okay, so let's just reformat this a bit because I don't like this ugly pieces of code, and I prefer your steps. So again, here as you can see, it's using these stripe charges create. I kind of don't like this style, so I'm gonna try to change it into something like into this arrow functions. Let me just check if everything's fine. Yeah. So what are we doing is, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, and just add here a catch. Yeah, it's not aligned here. Let's do a catch in case an error happens, and we're gonna do a console log of the error, and we're gonna do like return this error. You should probably throw because you want to break, but we want to see it in case something badly happens. So here, let's do return charge. So what are we doing here is we actually did a post. We created an API called create with a route create payment. It's going to accept the token. The token is going to charge this amount. This amount is going to have like this currency in euros. As I said, I want single quotes, but Stripe is putting double quotes. I have no idea why, but so it's going to take the token, and that's it. But as you can see, if we're again here putting the amount, I think we should take the amount from the request body. So, but it doesn't matter. Let's first test this. We're gonna change it later. So you see, we created a charge with an amount, currency description token. The source here. Let me just check. I like this one. So it's the amount is €9.99. Currency is euros. Description is example charge. We can change it here and name it hello stream charge. Hello stream charge. Stream charge. So this is the token. After it happens, we grab the charge, return it. If everything goes well, if something goes badly, we return the error. Great. Yeah, that's it. If you remember last time, okay, so let's start building our first. Let's start building our payment service. So I chose Stripe because I think Stripe is actually quite, I guess, quite easy to build and easy to integrate. They have a lot of stuff. But anyway, I mean, I'm gonna talk to you about Stripe later. I mean, because there is Braintree, there is PayPal, just pure PayPal. There's a lot of stuff that you can integrate on your for example, for a website or whatever. I mean, there are many payment processors available right now. I worked in the past with some Zuora, also payment processor, which is available for the United States. I mean, there's a lot of them, to be honest. A lot of these payment processors available. So Yeah, I chose Stripe because it's the easiest one, and they have a really good support. They're using actually also like IRC also. So you can find like a Stripe channel, I think, on IRC, and yeah, it's actually quite good. You can actually talk to them directly there. You don't have to talk via email or support. And so, I mean, they're actually run by a lot of I mean, it's a very developer friendly payment processor, and you can simply build it. I mean, they give you API keys immediately. You don't need to, do a hassle like generate keys, set up this, set up that. It's quite easy. But anyway, let's go along the way. Maybe if there's gonna be some requests, maybe I'm gonna show you also with Braintree or whatever. Also, there's a possibility at one point do like Bitcoin payments processing. You can actually um apply, enable Bitcoins on your site. You can accept Bitcoins. I mean, I know that the price is now going super low, but you never know. Even the last time it was like 100 and it fell to like 50 or 30. I don't, if I remember correctly. Maybe I remember wrong. And you could actually, and then it went up to 1,000. I mean, you never know. This is a really crazy market, even though, whatever. I mean, even though there is a lot of influence from other countries and some countries are stopping trading with Bitcoin or whatever. I mean, it's mostly tax wise and because it's a bit competing with their national currency and stuff like that. So, it's kind of a threat to the governments, which is fine, of course, in some cases. But anyway, so since we said we're gonna do a Stripe payment service, let's actually build one. So the reason why I chose to be a serverless, just to explain this one more thing, is because I want you want it to be a single service, uh, you know, and that you only pay a bit for the time it used. AWS Lambda, as I said in some previous streams, it gives you 1 million invocations, let's say, of your function for free. So it means, for example, if you had an API, or I mean, this service, you could do like 1 million, probably not 1 million transactions, because maybe they're gonna last longer. Because it's a bit tricky because to estimate, as they are actually charging you for 100 milliseconds per request. So it's kind of, if your service runs 200 milliseconds, it means that I mean, if your Lambda is running for 200 milliseconds, it means that actually going to have a 500,000. I mean, but again, even if you have like 100 payments per month, you're still going to be fine. Even if they're on for like 10 seconds, it's going to be fine. You will not pay anything, and you can reuse it. I mean, you can change the code a bit and save. But anyway, let's start with our service. So let's create a separate folder. We're gonna create, for example, let's call it serverless payment service. So let's do it like that. Let's go there. Serverless payment service. Yeah. So yeah, you have this. We're in the folder, and because we some fake account, some fake number, pay. Now it's doing. It's now invoking our service. Our service return an empty object, which may mean who knows what. But we don't know what happened. So let's open up our dashboard. I'm not sure if you're seeing. Yes. So it doesn't show anything. So let's see. Payments here. We don't have any test payments. Balance. Still nothing. So maybe it went badly. So let's go to our CloudWatch. We are here on our services. Let's go CloudWatch. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a perfect song, you know, for this kind of stuff. So let's go to our logs to check our if it went properly. Um, let's go AWS Lambda and serverless payment and serverless payment service. Let's see what happened if everything went well. Let's check. Nothing, basically nothing, which may mean actually it passed because we didn't because we logged, so it returned, so it probably went through, but we didn't get anything because probably the charge is empty, which is a bit weird. But let's go and check actually in our code. I mean, yeah, sometimes because it takes time to actually check these payments, I'm not sure if it's as I seen. What is this? 0. It says nothing, like no charge may be made. This is a bit weird. So what are we going to do? We are going to okay, something's not going probably well. but let's go to our service and be sure about this. So let's go to our iTerm terminal, open up our open yeah, it invoked our service. Let's go serverless payment, because we just want to have a confirmation. Yeah, I did this without thinking. Yeah, whenever you don't think something index.js. So let's check. Let's add. It probably finished, you know, everything. But let's do a console log of our token. Yeah, let's do. No, we don't want to show the token because token is inside Stripe. We don't want to expose that kind of stuff. But let's say token, and let's do a console log just of the actual token. Maybe actually that would be smart. Let's go create. We want to have this. Okay, so this is just a log before Stripe creates a charge, and if it does, we want to return, but also we want to log here console log this charge, or we can say success, because we're returning the charge. We can say successful charge, and here we can do, actually let's do a log of the charge, just to be sure. And that's it. I think we're actually done. I mean, now to Claudia update. Now, this key, if you remember that we saw in index.js, that secret key, we should actually put it in a environment variable. That's actually the proper way to do it. You should not put any keys or any fixed stuff or any magic numbers, magic codes inside your code. You should always put it outside somewhere. But I can show you even that. It's very, very, very simple. So, but let's finish this first. As you can see, yeah, creating a Stripe payment service is quite easy. I mean, it's super easy to do, and I'm amazed by the quality of the stuff that Stripe did. So yeah, let's go back to our Chrome. Let's first check just to be sure. Maybe it didn't. Maybe we needed to refresh a bit or whatever, just to be sure. I mean, we don't. I mean, if it passes, doesn't matter. We're gonna try it again. It's no problem. Yeah, nothing went through. Yeah, so let's go. Let's go back here to our service. Let's refresh it. Let's just check before we invoke it if our route has been properly set. Yes, it does. Great, perfect. Let's do create in service. Let's go with this card number. This is the test card number 42424242, and let's say pay. So it went, and it again return an empty object. But now we can see what happened in the logs. So went back to the logs. We came here because you can see this is from right now. It says undefined. Now the reason why it's undefined, there are two possible reasons why it could be undefined. Number one is that it doesn't accept promises. So we're gonna actually check npm stripe package, and we're gonna check if it gives stripe as promised. Maybe this is what we need. Stripe package charges creates using promises. Yeah, it should. As you can see, it charges create. Yeah, it's totally promise good. Promise fine. So it might actually. But it didn't say anything. So this might. So what it did was it basically showed us undefined. Let me check if it pass. Yes. What do we have in our code? Let's take a look again. Yeah, it's always some tiny little bit errors somewhere happening. So let's go in the Gateway.js. So we do have, so this might be actually an error, but the error is empty. So this might be one of those problems. We didn't do return here, stripe charges create. Now I get it. So yeah, let's do it. So let's do, I totally forgot to return this promise. Yeah, this is super simple, stupid stuff. I always return. So yeah, this is it. Okay, let's do another Claudia update. So yeah, it's not going to do this. I just cleaned up. If you do Command K in your terminal, in your iTerm or your terminal, whatever, it's going to clear the terminal. So it's good. I mean, it's always nice to have that. But as you can see, creating a payment service is quite easy. It's very convenient, and probably because it didn't return an API, this is why it didn't create a charge, because it didn't confirm. Maybe there's an error actually now. Great, it's done. So let's go to Chrome, go to our service, in the refresh, pay with cards, which is great, fill up data. We're filling up this data and pay. So let's go on and see now what has happened. Okay, invalid request, must provide source or customer. Great. This means that we don't have a token. That means our token is empty. Perfect. This is what we wanted to know. So you see, sometimes some error hides another error. Sometimes a typo error can hide something else. So let's take a look in our CloudWatch. Go back here, we open up here, and it says undefined. So our token was undefined. So we need to see why was our token undefined. And you see, it must provide source to customer. Perfect. This is everything. This is great. So let's actually open up our terminal. My Alexa is activating now. Wow. So let's open our terminal. Let's do vim index.js. So here we have this stripe token. But actually, let's be efficient here, and let's do a console log of our token, of our request body. And let's see what's inside, because we don't know what is inside. So we did it. Let's just do a quick check if I saved. Yeah, it's good. So Claudia update. Let's do this. It's now, as it's updating now. We're we're going to, I mean, we're gonna wait a bit. We're gonna wait a bit and see how this works. Let's see. We're gonna see how this goes. It's setting up. I'm a bit tired from a long day, but we're gonna see. So yeah, it's done now. Let's change to Chrome, and in Chrome, let's open up our service again. Yeah, account index. Yeah, refresh, load up. As you can see, it's loading Stripe, waiting for checkout Stripe. Pay with card. So you're doing payments, and let's do it. And do something like that, whatever. Request is not defined, so we made an error again. Oh my god, kinda lame. I'm so lame when writing this stuff because I'm lazy to check. Yeah, super lazy. I really am not request body. Yeah, let's do it again. You see, this is kind of lame because we have a Claudia local. You have Claudia local, which has you can use it to actually test your stuff locally. But because I'm not using it yet, and I want to update it, I want to show how you actually do it quickly. And whenever time I want to do something quickly, I do it 2 times slower. It's kind of like that, boring stuff. But yeah, I mean, this kind of might be boring to some people, like payment service, whatever. But it's quite useful when you're doing a job as an engineer. It's very, 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 very useful to know as like a quick trick to create a single payment microservice, which is also serverless and it can sustain like 1,000 payments. I mean, you're probably not gonna have 1,000 payments, except if you're like at the minute, except you're like maybe I don't know, YouTube or whatever, but it doesn't matter. So let's go. But again, I'm underestimating. Let's go back. Yeah, load it up. Pay with card. Come on, you can do it. It's loading. So yeah, you see how simple. Let's go 4242. You have to put a proper year. You don't have to put something here. No, I don't want. Remember me, more data to fill. No thanks. So again, we have the same error, which is perfectly fine because that's not the purpose of this request. We want to do it here. Let's check. So it didn't say anything yet. Because if it didn't say anything, oh, here it is. So there is a Stripe token, as you can see. So there is a Stripe token, but it's not parsing it properly. So it's not parsing this element properly. So what we can do is we can do a JSON parse of this. We can do a body JSON parse. So yes, so we can do a simple parse. Let me just check if everything's fine. If yeah, we have the token, we have the Stripe token type. Yeah, doesn't matter. Let's actually now go to our terminal. Let's go to our terminal. So let's just put it back. Reduce the music a bit. Am I on our terminal? Yes, I am. Let's do a simple index.js. Okay, vim index.js. Let me just check this part. So we have this, but it's not properly getting it. So let me see. So it's getting some data. Let's see. so because it's probably sending it from through a form or something like that. So I want to parse this, but I'm not sure if I should use. I mean, it's not JSON. Um, it's something else. But I'm thinking, what could it be? Let me just check. I'm checking. I'm checking if we can actually parse. If we can parse this part. I'm not sure how we can parse this element. I mean, actually, I'm sure, but I'm just want to be 100% okay with it. Let's do. I just want to be sure if we're gonna be fine. I'm gonna check something very simple. Just to be sure if I did it correctly. But yeah, so what we're doing, we're just parsing this small element here, and it should actually show the token, but it's not showing our token. Yeah. So I think this is form URL encoded, which is a bit weird. But let me see. Parse. I want to parse this without actually. Doesn't matter. So what we want is that we want to actually parse this little bit, but in a way that it's because it's got like it's a query string at the end. It came as a query string, which is kind of weird. Yeah, we want to parse it, which is gonna be we can substring it or whatever, but there's probably something else which is a nicer parser. Requested post. So yeah, we're checking this part. Just want to be sure if I'm editing it properly. Body parser, no. So yeah, even though Claudia API Builder has a body parser, this has not been parsed properly because it's actually just a query string sent. So something like URL encoded. And let's just see if maybe JSON parse would do it, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's try. Doesn't matter. I think you cannot do it that way. But this is because I want to do it something very simply. But let's do a JSON parse just for keepsake, because I mean it's not a JSON. This is a simple query, but because if you remember, yeah, it's a simple query. Because there is this query string parse, you can do it, and that's it. I can just do require query string, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do just a query string. Yeah, let's go. I mean, it's quite okay to do it that way as well. So yeah, let's go back. Yeah, I totally forgot about query string parse, but it doesn't matter. So Yeah, let's go back here and let's do a qs equals query string, and we're gonna do like delete this line. We're gonna do here, and we're gonna just say let body is equal to request body no qs parse request dot body, because it sends, unfortunately, this path, it sends as query parameters, which is kind of weird. But so we're gonna actually do this, and we're gonna delete this part. So yeah, we did let body token, body stripe token. So let's actually do a console log of this just to be sure in case something badly happens. And Claudia update. So yeah, we're just now updating our function just to be safe. If it did parse properly, we're logging also the token, and then creating a stripe charge is great. Now that's it. This should be working actually, because this is just a simple stream, simple payment request, but you never know. Yes, that's it. It's done. Now let's go to our Chrome. Just a second. Yep. So yeah, we're at Chrome. Are we at Chrome? Let me just be sure. Yeah, perfect. So let's do it. Let's pay with our card. Pay. We'll just say. Okay, I did it improperly. And let's do 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Doesn't matter, because you can put whatever you want. I'm just putting 03 because it's like March, maybe 2019, whatever. And it did. So it created. This is our charge object. Bravo! Congratulations! Great. So we can just go back to our payments terminal, and let's just are we on payments terminal? Yes, we are. Let's just do this like vim index.js just to clear up this elements. I thought, okay, and we don't need this. We need this. We don't need this. Are we okay? This is quite interesting. For example, here, if you, I don't know if many of you know this, but you can just do this as stripe charge, and it's gonna return the charge. So we don't need this part. Yeah, return error. Also, we can do the same with errors. But we can actually, I forgot, we want this. We want this. So we're gonna do a console log here. Yeah, like, oh, seems a follower. Bas Bulu, thank you for following. Thank you, thank you. Let me check if you guys wrote something. I totally. Hello, could you show me your actual results? What do you mean by results? Would you mean like the results from Stripe, or you want to see the Stripe payment on the payment dashboard? Because we're just returning here the charge. I'm not sure if you're here, but yeah, it takes time for a stream to come from the data. There's a delay, So dashboard, yeah. Let's go on to the dashboard. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, you're gonna like it because it's showing it. Yeah, you see, so it created 9.99. So yeah, it created this part. This, as you can see here, it's created like 7:33. That's right now. This is my time at the moment. 7:34. So basically, it created this. It created our first payment. It's quite easy. If you want, I can put this code on GitHub and share it. Also, I mean, publicly, so you can use it. I mean, it's also available. It's also available on Claudia example projects. I mean, you can literally do it that way. Or there's something more I can show. There's something more I can show. Actually, maybe you're gonna like it even. I like it even more. Let me just. Let me just. Let me just save this. But first, let me show you the terminal. This is gonna be interesting. So there is one service I created. This service is with Claudia. It's like Claudia Generate. It's called Claudia Create. Let me just check if I did it if I did install it. Cloud and now it's Create Serverless. I forgot. Sorry, I didn't use it for some time. But let's just check if it's going. Yeah. So command not provide. Great. So I'm gonna show you something that we created, and it's available. You can use it, but it can actually help with some stuff. For example, to automatically create a lot of this code. So I'm gonna show you. So let's remove this folder, and you can say create serverless, and you want to say if I remember properly. It's Stripe. No, it's payment Stripe. I think it's been a long time. I mean I developed this and I'm quite lazy. So it's payment Stripe, and I say folder, and I say just a second. I say folder name, which is going to be folder name. Let's say generated serverless payment. Let's just be sure if it's gonna pass. Yeah, so it created. So you just hang on, you're gonna see what it created. So this create serverless npm package. It created a payment Stripe service automatically. All this code that you've seen, like on the backend, of course, not on the front end. It's in the and it created a folder generated serverless payment. So let's go to generated. If I did no, actually I didn't provide. So it I totally forgot how this works, but let's do it. Just 1 second. I totally forgot this part because I didn't use it for some time. Just 1 second. Yes, let's do generated. Yeah, I just need to put folder. So let's go into the folder, and you can see it created an index.js and package.js. So let's do. Let me just show you what's in index.js. You see, so it created literally the same API. Maybe I can. Let me just do this. So as you can see, it created literally the same Stripe secret key with the process environment. It created module exports API, create payment, Stripe charges create with the Stripe token and everything. And when you do also package, you want to see package JSON, it also created a package JSON with two scripts. The first one is how to create your first API. So you can create this service in an instant, literally. And you can just change here a Stripe secret key you want to use. And you do update, and that's it. This basically creates a payment service and creates it, and you can literally do the command for Claudia create to deploy it in 20 seconds. Basically 20 to 30 seconds you have an API gateway and an API with payment. With, you know, if you created, for example, your Stripe account, you can have it literally at once, and then you just basically create your form. I mean, you know, even if you're a front-end developer, or even if you have just a WordPress, you know, and you want to have your own payment service which you want to use, you know, this is basically how you can use it, and for free. I mean, this literally, and if you until you reach one million requests, it's for free from AWS, and that's it. I mean, it's quite easy to do something very simple as a payment service, as you can see. and it's quite readable. As you, let's just open this index file. Yeah, so you see it's quite readable. You know, you create API builder, create payment, and this is it. This is all the stuff. Yeah. So you because this is reusable, you can see that the currency here, request body currency, is you can specify it by yourself. You can specify the amount, Stripe token which has been passed, and everything. So you know this is quite easy to do. Yeah, I didn't need to use here, for example. I didn't need to use this. I could just return this object like this, for example, and it would literally return it, because yeah, this is not required, because if you just do a return statement, you probably know that you can just you know, say charge and put an object which you want to return it, and it's implied. It's an implied return. So yeah, I think I'm going to actually end here. Probably, I'm not sure yet. If you have if you have some questions or whatever, I can show you around. It's nothing special. So yeah, you just do, for example, now npm. If you want to upload this, you can just do npm run, for example, create, and it's gonna run this command here. You see, I don't know, yeah. So it's gonna show this command here. Claudia create update, you know, IPM module, index file, region, US East, set environment, and everything. This region, I think I did it that you can change it. I can actually check it out now with you if you want, but you see, you do a Claudia update. So basically, you have everything set up. I mean, the whole infrastructure, everything. So you have a service in 30 seconds. I mean, when I was younger, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I don't look old, but I'm like 30, 31 soon. So, you know, it's maybe 5 years ago, creating a payment service for me was like, oh my God, you know, like I don't want to be responsible for, you know, if something badly happens, I don't want to be the guilty guy. And, you know, I did for some art portal, art service. It's like selling of art pieces on marketplace. I did that basically with Stripe, a payment, and I was like, oh my God, this is complicated. But now, as you can see, it's quite easy, and it's quite, I don't know, for me, it's super easy to do, and you know, and I don't know, I think it's development now is much easier. But if you want, if you have some questions, there are not many people on the stream. There were some couple coming going by, but if you have some questions for payments, I can show you around if you're interested. Let me just check while if you're here, of course. But anyway, I think this is it for payments. This is how you create a Stripe payment. Let's try this service again, just to be sure. Yeah. So you see, you click pay with card. I mean, it's all provided. And as I said, this part, I mean, the picture and the headline and this example charge are all set up by Stripe. So you don't have to, basically, you don't have to do anything. I mean, you don't have to create a form. You can just do this, and that's it. You know, you can pick up the address and everything else that you can. You know, I mean, some people fake it. You know, some people show this to their customers, and before they just pick up the address and everything they want, you know, maybe for shipments, and you know, this is good. But I mean, personally, I would not gather any of this data. I would really not gather. When you are earning money, so yeah, you don't understand everything. Okay, I'm gonna show you, because it's not hard. So first, let me explain you the process, how these things go. So we're gonna start from this from this pay with card segment. Just set my stuff so I see you post something, because I see the comments on my phone. So what's happening is, you want to set up, for example, your payment service, and so you need two things. the first thing you need is you need to show a form like HTML, like a website. On a website, you want to show this form to your user, where they put the payment stuff like the card and everything else. This is this part, let's say, so you want that. You want these elements. So because you need to pick up that data. This is the first, the one concept you need. The second concept you need is a payment service. This payment service, it's on your backend, you on the server side, even though this is serverless, but I'm going to explain to you serverless later, but let's imagine this is on your server or whatever. So you also need to have a service. This service needs to run, and this service will create a request to Stripe. Now, why is it like that? You're probably thinking like, okay, why is it complicated? Why can't I just, put a form on my site and it automatically goes to Stripe to charge the customer? The reason for that is because of security, and first of all, Stripe doesn't want, imagine if everybody did that, then, first of all, how can Stripe secretly know that's you? Number one. Number two, then a lot of people would be just clicking buttons, hacking, trying to hack somehow from the client side, because the client side is much easier to hack than the backend side, So, the people would, it's basically harder to hack. So you actually need to have a front end part. Okay, I'm doing it front end part and a back end part. So this front end part is communicating, is this form, and because Stripe doesn't, it wants to help you not to collect these credit cards and this sensitive stuff. This is very sensitive, because if somebody takes your customer's credit card, your business is done. You're basically, they're not gonna trust you anymore. You lost trust, which is the worst. It's better that the customer is angry at you on something stupid like you're too expensive or whatever than to lose trust. If the customer knows it can believe you, it's okay. So basically your payment form, which you see right now on the screen. Yeah, let me just check. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I'm trying to be helpful. So this payment form, which you're seeing, is this payment form from Stripe. It shows it for you using, I'm going to show you the HTML code. How does it show? And it collects information from the customer. And you also put a little inside the HTML code, you put your publishable key. It's a small key that the Stripe knows it's you. It's just like an identification key that it's you. So it creates or then a request from your form to the Stripe services. Stripe services pick up all that information, this email, card number, and everything that this form sent. It stores it in their secure servers, and gives you back the token. A token is a small string, it's something in the identification, but you need to keep it, for yourself. But it sends this token to back to your form, and this form automatically, when it returns, when it gives back everything it has, it automatically invokes with the Stripe token your backend service, your server with your payment service. And the payment service receives that request, and I'm going to show you now, just a second, terminal. So the payment service receives this request. Let me just clear this, so I just do a Vim. Wait, just a second. Let's go to our service we created, serverless payment service. Yeah, and let's open this Vim index.js. So I guess you're seeing this, yes. So your payment service is this. It's this API post create payment. This is the route. This is your route to your payment service. It receives this request. You see it here. We parse it, the body, because it's a post request. I guess you'd know what's the difference between a post request and a GET request. HTTP requests. If you don't know, we can talk about it later. I have some free time. So you get the post request or post request. We parse the body because the body is actually sent in a query format, So we get our Stripe token from the parsed body. You see, we get the Stripe token, and we then call Stripe. You can see here. We then call Stripe here to create a charge. We create a charge with this currency, with this description and source token, and we create it. And when it's created, it returns the charge. So basically what we're doing, we're just telling Stripe, hey, we are going to, we want to charge the customer's card, we charge it, and that's it, and they return it back. So it's quite, it's quite simple. The money is the moment when you earn money is here. This is the moment when you earn money. So this is the moment when it's created by what you asked. So you're charging, but you need to make a difference between a payment and a charge. Charge is you charge the customer's card, but it may also decline later. The bank can say, shoo, bye-bye. So it's possible. This is why it's called a charge. If it does it, you also have you for example, if the card doesn't have any money, it's gonna show it here in the console. Yeah, this is not a good thing I did. I didn't end this properly. So you want this, so you can say this error occurred, but we don't want that error. We want to say error. We want to add this here. Okay. Let me just save. Yeah. So if the customer doesn't have any money, when you earn, how often do you stream? Basics. Yeah. I can. I stream right now very regularly, almost every day. I did every day. Like in this week, from Sunday, I did every day. Maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do because I have some meetings in the evening, afternoon, whatever. Maybe I'm not sure, but there is a schedule. I'm gonna follow my schedule. You probably see it in my channel. There is a schedule below. But can you tell me what kind of basics would you like to see? I mean, what is it that is giving you any problems? I mean, if you tell me your level or what you're talking about, it's not a problem to explain even the basics of how do you create a service and stuff like that, and when you earn money. Yeah. So basically, this is the moment. Let me just show you this part. I'm gonna answer all these questions. So you have this type charges create. This is when you tell Stripe to charge for this amount. This which is 999 cents. Description is, you say stream charge, you say the token. So based on this token, which Stripe gave you, Stripe knows whom you want to charge, in which card. The only purpose of this token is Stripe wants to help you to not keep this sensitive data. So in case somebody hacks you, they can take this token, because this token is just going to be one-time token. We use this token right now. So even if you if somebody else tries to get this token, it will not work. So, it's kind of okay. So that's it. I mean, yeah, you create it returns the charge which is created, the payment that it created, and that's it. If something happens, it's going to log it. And that is all the thing that you need to know. Yeah, when it's created, then you go to dashboard. I'm going to show the dashboard, just a second. As you can see here, it's going to show, this is the test dashboard, this is the test account. You can see here also, I'm not sure if you're going to see it on the, yeah, I selected. So this is the test dashboard. So you can, you can test, you can do a lot of stuff. You can, try it out and everything. If you're really interested into learning this, I can show you the basics of, I mean, not in this stream, but maybe tomorrow, like how do you create, for example, a simple web service, and how does it work? How does the data go from one element, for the client to the backend or stuff like that? I'm mostly going to be talking about serverless. I'm not sure if you know the topic. You write it in the chat if you know the topic of what is serverless, or you at least heard about it. I can understand the logic, but that's all. Yeah, don't worry about it. Come on, it's if you knew me when I was studying and doing studies and trying to understand the like how does it all work and everything, it's basically very simple. I mean, all of these services people talk about, they're basically just like a calculator plus and minus. You send some information, to it. You like the numbers. You you define what is going to happen with this information. You know, like, is it a text? Is it a number? Basically you're going to be mostly doing the text and numbers. So if it's a text, you maybe you want to put it in the database to store it somewhere to keep it, or you know I mean, I know the logic is, I mean, you're gonna see it's gonna be super simple. Next time, if you want, I can create a simple service and show you what's happening. My advice, personally, personal like advice that I give to everybody, my friends, I mean, all my friends, but I would give also to you, is try to get involved with serverless more, because if you really want to be a quick developer and jump into the main train or anything, I think I think that serverless is the way to go, because you don't need to buy servers. You need to and you can also do everything with your own on your own side, and you don't have to pay anything at the beginning, and which is great, for many developers who are just starting and everything, which is super great. So yeah. Yeah, you can understand the logic, but can you tell me I mean, what do you know in programming? I mean, if you know something bigger than if you, I'm gonna stop recording actually.